Hey everybody, welcome back to the Record View. A few days ago on September 27th, 2025, Zach Bryan set a historic record in the music world, and a lot of you may have not even known about it. Country superstar Zach Bryan just wrapped up his 2025 Quittin' Time Tour with his stop in Ann Arbor, Michigan at the University of Michigan's college football stadium known as the Big House. The show is extremely anticipated, and since its announcement, it's completely sold out, and by the time it actually occurred, it set a U.S. attendance record for a ticketed concert for a single day by a single headlining act, playing to a mind-blowing 112,408 fans, breaking the previous record of 110,000 by George Strait at Kyle Field in Texas in 2024. The show featured Keenan O'Mara, Joshua Slone, Ryan Bingham and the Texas Gentlemen, and the incredible John Mayer all opening for Zach Bryan. As for raw facts and data goes though, that's about where it ends. However, I was lucky enough to actually be able to see the concert myself while on a trip to Michigan this past weekend, so I have a lot I can add to it myself. Let me break it down in my own experience. Doors opened for the stadium at 4 p.m. with the first act Keenan O'Mara, and then Joshua Slone playing sometime between 5 and 6:30, although I hadn't yet arrived at the stadium, so I'm not positive on that. I arrived in Ann Arbor around 1 p.m., and even that wasn't even close to enough time allocation for the sheer number of people that were crowding Ann Arbor for this event. My brother and my parents parked a mile away from the arena for $40, a whole 8 hours before Zach Bryan even took the stage, which was by far the cheapest parking anywhere in Ann Arbor. I saw some prices even reach over $100 the closer we walked to the stadium. There was a line of traffic that looked like it went on forever with police constantly guiding traffic, though it seemed chaotic even then because of how many roads were filled with cars across the city. The four of us walked up into Ann Arbor to get a bite to eat before the concert because Lord knows how much it would be for food inside the arena. We ended up finding this one good pizza spot called Pizza Bob's. Shout out to them too if you're in the area. They had great food, great service, and they worked hard to get everyone's food out despite how busy it was. But up along that road, we saw constant partying at every single house along the road. One in particular had probably over 300 people crowded into the front lawn, partying. It had a whole cover band of students jamming out Zach Bryan songs, and people were even up on the rooftop pre-gaming the concerts. Though around 6 p.m. I eventually actually got into the concert just in time for Ryan Bingham and the Texas Gentlemen to take the stage. Ryan Bingham was really good sounding, though I was largely distracted as I had never actually heard of him until going to this show, but I still enjoyed it. When John Mayer eventually took the stage though is when everything started feeling really surreal. John Mayer went on at 7:45 p.m. just after the sunset. Seeing over 100,000 people in one place with the sunset illuminating everything for a perfect backdrop was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life, and any pictures or videos out there you see don't really do it justice at all. Mayer played an amazing show, especially for the limited time he had, with a lot of his guitar solos and improvisational sections with his blues backing band being really incredible and something I couldn't take my eyes or ears off of for a single second as a guitarist and musician myself. As the transcendent gravity came to a close, there was noticeably a sense of anxious excitement everywhere. I overheard people behind me saying, "Is Zach Bryan on soon?" multiple times. Others were going deep in research, debating when they thought Zach Bryan would take the stage. The wait was finally alleviated though when Zach Bryan took the stage at 9:20 p.m. with the Killers' Mr. Brightside playing on the speakers. Despite it being pitch black outside at the time, the stage was brighter than it had been when it was in the lights. So many flashlights were up and a lot of light work was used to illuminate the crowd, even brighter against the night sky. Just as the first notes of the opening track, Overtime, were played, all lights dimmed, and I heard the loudest cheers I think I've ever heard at a concert in my entire life. Zach Bryan was accompanied by many extremely talented musicians, making a band that was just shy of an entire orchestra up on the central stage in the stadium. Zach Bryan sounded more energized than any other show I've watched on YouTube or anywhere else. This was the end of his 2025 Quittin' Time Tour, playing to the most people he had ever played to in his entire life, and a record-breaking number at that, so it does make sense. The show continued through many great songs like East Side of Sorrow, one of my personal favorites by Zach Bryan, with everyone around me screaming every single lyric to every song. Even the songs I thought were more underground for Zach Bryan, like the song Condemned off his first album, got immense cheers and lyrics sung. Zach Bryan eventually got to his biggest hit of his career, Something in the Orange, a third of the way through the set list, and that was a truly amazing moment. A beautiful violin section led to the song's opening before the wonderful chorus, with the entire stadium singing every word of the song. I could really notice how surreal it was not only for me, but Zach Bryan too, because he stopped occasionally to let the audience finish different lyrics, where to me he looked partially anxious, but also stunned by how many fans were willing to wait out in the sun for 9 hours and pay hundreds of dollars just to see him perform. A few more songs into the set list led to possibly my favorite moment of the entire night. Zach Bryan welcomed back up on stage John Mayer to perform a slower country cover of the Grateful Dead's Friend of the Devil. Zach Bryan starts the song off joking how he loves the song to death and he hopes he doesn't ruin it. He does in fact mess up the song in the first couple seconds, but he starts it over and rips a beautiful 8-minute long improvisational, what I would call masterpiece, that would make any deadhead out there smile. Zach Bryan's choruses in the song are so nice sounding, and as the lyrics came to a rap, John Mayer takes it away, ripping guitar solo after guitar solo with the backing blues band chugging along with them. It was something I really did not see coming, and I loved it so much. The two proceeded on to a performance of their collaboration track Better Days off Zach Bryan's most recent album, but that Dead cover in specific really got me. The setlist continued on, and I could spend hours sitting here recapping how beautiful every song felt, but I'll spare you all the time because I've already been rambling on long enough about this concert. Song 25 of 27 came towards the very end of the show, and he changed up the setlist slightly, playing a song he doesn't play often, which was dedicated to one person, Ann Bryan, his mother. His mother, Deanne, unfortunately passed away just a few years ago, and Zach Bryan played the song Sweet Deanne about her, lamenting at the start of it how he wishes his mother could see how many people he would be playing to in this moment. Hearing him say that really stuck with me emotionally, and it was both heartbreaking to hear that and sweet that he could dedicate this record-breaking night to his mother. The words in the song, "You said your boy would be seen by the masses one day," damn near brought me to tears hearing. The show eventually ended with the track Quit in Time as Zach Bryan and the band walked off stage. 5 minutes passed, everyone in the stadium stayed put. 10 minutes passed, everyone stayed put. 15 minutes passed, and Zach Bryan walked back up on stage to roaring applause. What followed was an 18-minute long encore of the hit Revival, followed with Zach thanking the entire band and openers and letting them get their own time to shine and jam away. Electric guitar interpolations of the chorus, pianos, violins, fiddles, every instrument you could think of got its own spotlights. One final chorus took home the night, followed by hundreds of fireworks continually shooting off from the stadium. So yeah, it was a great night and a great performance, a historic one at that. Though Zach Bryan isn't one of my favorite artists ever, I left the concert that night with one of the most incredible concert experiences I've ever had.
We're having it all.